It's rebounded by Maxey, racing up the middle of the floor. Shovels it ahead to Quickly. 3-ball, no good. Jammed in! E.J. Montgomery runs the floor and finishes. Maxey drives it up the right side in a hurry. Gets into the lane. Left-hand scoop shot won't go. Jammed in! Nick Richards! Following a flush.
Just too much size and strength for Fairleigh Dickinson to handle this past weekend as the Wildcats overwhelmed the Knights pretty much from start to finish. Welcome into this week's edition of BBNTV. The basketball Cats have been pounding people as of late, but the schedule is going to get a little tougher.
It certainly will, Christy. And to help us figure out exactly what we've been seeing, let's bring in our expert. You hear him before every game on the UK radio network, our All-American, Rex Chapman. Rex, what kind of improvements have you seen from these players just in the last couple of games?
Well, I think we're growing. You know, with Nate Sestina being out with injury right now, Nick and EJ are getting a lion's share of the minutes in the front court. And so I'm really excited about how Nick's progressing. EJ's coming back from that ankle injury. He played really well last game out. Our guards continue to show up every game. So I'm just excited that now hopefully the bench is going to start filling in and we'll know a little bit more what to expect each night out.
I think a lot of talk coming off that Evansville loss about what could you learn, what would you learn from a loss. What did we learn from that?
I think, as you know, Christy, playing basketball, playing sports, especially in college, it's a different level of competition.
Yeah.
And I think the main thing we learned is you cannot take anybody lightly because everyone's coming in to try to give the University of Kentucky a loss in any sport. And if it's basketball, you can bet that they're especially going to be motivated to try to do that. We shouldn't take anybody else lightly all year long.
There you go. Lesson learned. All right, well, coming up a little bit later, we're going to talk some football. Two Wildcats getting some national recognition this week. Landon Young and Max Duffy, second team all-conference, according to one set of voters, but best punter in the country says another. Somebody got it wrong, perhaps.
Yeah, they did. All right. Yeah, coming up, much more with Rex as we take a look at some of the key contributors that we have seen so far.
And here's a look back at some of the UK healthcare highlights from their blowout win over Fairleigh Dickinson. Stay with us. More BBNTV on the way.
Feeds it into Richards, turns into the paint, left hand running hook, rolls in, he got fouled as Richards pumps his right fist. He'll have a three-point play opportunity. Maxey, top of the circle, bounce pass Higgins, backdoor cut, lays it in. For FDU's rush, rebounded by Richards, off to Higgins. Higgins up the middle of the floor, bounces it ahead to Montgomery, drives and dunks. Down to Higgins in the left corner. Higgins drives into the paint, floats it over to Brooks on the right side, moves in, floater, good. Quickly on the right wing. Quickly puts it between his legs, comes to the elbow, spins, fall away 10-footer, good. Pretty move. Brooks top of the circle. One dribble, left side quickly, open three, yes!
Got to find a way to get that young fellow more shots.
Back to Higgins, drops it, but he picks it up, double team. Back to Johnny, left corner three, no good, jammed in! Whitney!
Oh my goodness, he was shoulders on that rim.
Higgins will drive it up the right side, picks up the pace as he comes into front court, drives it to the baseline, hits the follower, Montgomery for the slam. Quickly out deep on the right side. Looking inside, hits Montgomery at the high post, turns and hits a 15-footer. Middle of the floor himself, dribbled it off his leg, picked up by Montgomery. Montgomery ahead to Higgins, 2-on-1. Higgins leaves it behind him for a dunk by Montgomery.
Now that is unselfish play.
Comes off to Higgins. Higgins sprinting down the middle of the floor, gets into the lane, leaves it behind him to Brooks for a left-hand layup. In the crowd, quickly into front court, pass to the left corner, Whitney's three, good! Love seeing that. Maxey up the left side, one-hand pass ahead to Quickly, out to Brooks for an open three. It's good! A new career high for Keon Brooks, and a timeout, Fairleigh Dickinson with 10:49 to play. Rebound batted around, finally picked up by Higgins. Higgins throws it ahead to Montgomery, drives and dunks.
Outrun the defense, and that's what E.J. Montgomery does.
Maxey up the middle of the floor, floats it up for Whitney for a dunk, coming in off the right baseline.
Well done, well orchestrated by Maxey.
Wildcats keep the winning streak going with a 83-52 win over the Knights.
Big Blue Nation TV is presented by UK Federal Credit Union and sponsored by Central Bank, Coca-Cola, Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, Kroger, Papa John's, Toyota, and by UK Federal Credit Union.
holiday season, UK Federal Credit Union is offering low rates and free checking accounts, which means more money to spend on the perfect gift and memories you'll never forget. UK Federal Credit Union. Banking only better.
You know who really loves fresh food? Amateur chefs, stay-at-home parents, salad lovers, barbecuers, smorgasborders, hors d'oeuvres, fondue-ers, and flambéers, midnight snackers, brown baggers, bakers, and throw it in the microwavers. At Kroger, you can get all the fresh you want at a great price with delivery and free pickup, because we believe in fresh for everyone.
This week's play of the game is sponsored by Coca-Cola.
Kentucky running. Higgins into the paint. Pass left side. Maxey drives baseline. Reverse layup. Good!
In transition, Kentucky scores again. They've been very efficient.
Let's take a look now at some of the Wildcats and hear what Mr. Chapman has to say about the progress. Yeah, Mr. Chapman. That's what we call him around here. Yeah, and we're also increasing your pay. The Wildcats, as they're heading into that exam week.
Yeah, after that, then it's time for Camp Cal, which we've all heard a lot about. So in the 2 games against top 10 competition, Ohio State and Louisville, we're no more cupcakes.
Oof.
It's on.
It's on now. Yeah, we've got a steady. I heard Cal say the other day that, you know, by the end of December, he thinks I believe he thinks we have the #1 schedule in the country, which is crazy because we've already played Michigan State, and we add in some heavyweights.
And we're looking at a video here of E.J. Montgomery. He is really starting to find himself in his sophomore season.
E.J.'s coming along. He had that injury in the Michigan State game, missed a few games, and he's coming back now. He looks to be getting his legs back. E.J. is going to be huge this year for us if we plan on making a deep run in March.
What about a nice 1-2 punch here with E.J. Montgomery and then Nick Richards? I mean, this is a situation where we've always known Cal's teams to be really guard heavy, but now we've got a real inside presence.
Yes, our guards, I think, are still the strength of this team, but Nick, I'm really proud of Nick, not only for how well he's playing. Look, he's had 4 double-doubles this year. We'd have given, I bet he didn't have 4 double-doubles his whole career up till this year, maybe 1, 2. He's still got to finish shots like that. He's got to dunk those balls. At the next level, those will get blocked by guards, so he's got to continue to be physical, to be aggressive. But look, I'm so proud of him as a young man. He came here a couple years ago. He could barely look you in the eyes and say hello. Now he's growing up. He's become a very good young student athlete, and I'm very proud of Nick Richards.
And how much does he have to improve his game to where when he can play against competition like Fairleigh Dickinson, that he can turn around in the Louisville game and do a similar thing against that competition?
It's a great question, and really and truly, that's to be determined. You know, he does this. He's done this year. He's done it against Eastern. He's done it against some of the lesser teams with lesser talent. Now it's going to be a process of him translating that, moving into against SEC foes and the caliber.
Real inside presence. Let's head outside now. Talk about Ashton Higgins. He's coming along. My goodness.
Ashton Higgins, he does that at an elite level.
Yes.
Now, when I say that, and you guys know, we see different kind of players in here. Defensively, he's one of the best defensive guards I've ever seen play at Kentucky, especially on the ball. He can defend on the ball at the next level right now. It's the rest of his game that he's got to tidy up, but he's really playing with a lot of confidence. He's spreading the ball around. Emmanuel's been terrific. Tyrese is coming along, but Ashton is really going to be the catalyst for this team this year.
And Calipari likes to say, he said it several times in postgame, if there's a better point guard in the country, tell me who that is. And I really think it's because of the way that he does play defense.
He does. And then this is what he's doing better and better. He's finding guys, and he's finding guys late. He's slowing down. Last year, he would have taken that ball right there and gone 100 miles an hour to the basket. Now he's starting to slow down and look, oh, I found a guy.
Yeah.
He's slowing down, seeing the game at a slower pace, and that's just experience.
Yeah, looks good too.
That's what a sophomore year will do for you in some
there
cases,
you go.
right?
That's right.
All right, coming up, the UK women are perfect so far this season.
Indeed they are. We'll take a look at their latest victory with a major test coming up next on BBNTV.
For official coverage of the Cats, including live game audio and exclusive video content, download the official UK Athletics app from iTunes or Google Play today.
To some, it's just a boat. But to Jim, it's his escape from meetings, traffic, and the grind of daily life. He may not catch any keepers, but he wouldn't trade his day on the lake for anything in the world. That's why his boat is insured by Kentucky Farm Bureau. But it's not just Kentucky's Farm Bureau. It's Jim's Recharge the Battery Farm Bureau. My Farm Bureau. Kentucky Farm Bureau. Big on commitment.
You know who really loves fresh food? Amateur chefs, stay-at-home parents, salad lovers, barbecuers, smorgasborders, hors d'oeuvres, fondue-ers, and flambéers, midnight snackers, brown baggers, bakers, and throw it in the microwavers. At Kroger, you can get all the fresh you want at a great price with delivery and free pickup because we believe in fresh for everyone.
Tune in to the UK Healthcare John Calipari radio show every Monday from 6 to 7 p.m., followed by the Big Blue Nation radio show from 7 to 8 p.m. on the UK Sports Network.
The UK women have a big date with 7th-ranked Louisville, the Cardinals, coming up on Sunday, Christy, and they warmed up with a Wednesday night competition again with their 10th straight win, and it was a big win over Winthrop. 83-52.
Oh, they dominated. Matthew Mitchell sporting the sweet specs. Look at that in a dazzling jacket.
He's got style.
Oh, he does. Suitably inspired. His team was sizzling from the outside. Ryan Howard got things started with the three. Then next up, Kiki McKinney. She does the exact same thing. The Cats on an early 16-2 run. And then Amanda Pascal finds the lady of the hour, Jada Roper, the senior, 12 of 13 from the field. She matched her career high of 15 in the first quarter alone, Lee K.
That was unreal. I mean,
good.
UK started the game hitting 8 of 11 from long range. Ryan Howard had a dozen. She didn't even play in the second half. She had 12 points in 13 minutes, though. Roper, though, calling her own play, lets it fly. She finished with 30 points, nearly outscoring Winthrop by herself. I mean, what?
Just really got into a great rhythm, but she made some really good plays there in the first half, cutting to the basket. She shot, the three well, and she was doing a good job from the field, but she really made some smart plays that she was able to earn some buckets. And then, but she just played real smart, and I thought she really took good shots and didn't force anything tonight, and just played a really smart floor game. So happy for her. It's got to be a great feeling to have that kind of game.
Up next, those Louisville Cardinals in Rupp Arena Sunday. You can get there early. Parking is a challenge right now, of course, in downtown Lexington, thanks to all that construction.
It's true. All right, last year the Cards beat the Cats 80-75. It was UK's first loss of the season. Kentucky was down by 17, though, at one point in the fourth quarter, and the Cats made a massive comeback attempt, but fell just short in that one. We talked a little bit about this, Christy, with the men. The women, they've seen some pretty good competition, but they're really going to see a very good measuring stick on Sunday against Louisville.
No doubt. This is it. They've gone on a 10-0 run, and they've really started to gain a lot of confidence. They're getting so much better on the defensive side of the ball. Offensively, they've really found their stride, so we'll see what happens on Sunday. It's a big one.
It is a big one. All right, stay with us right here on BBNTV.
It's award season in college football, and the Wildcats are popping up all over the place. One in particular. That's next.
Where are we? Another planet?
Tongue to garlic Parmesan crust. Come in, crust.
Somehow the geniuses at Papa John's landed their famous garlic sauce all over that toasty, cheesy crust. And to that, I say mission accomplished. The new garlic Parmesan crust for just $10. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Welcome to Toyotathon.
Hey.
Ready for a great deal?
You know it.
With savings on Camry, RAV4, Highlander, and more, it really is the most magical time of the year. Can you pretend you didn't see this?
But I'm seeing it.
Get $1,500 customer cash on a legendary new 2019 4Runner.
$2,500 on a built-in the USA 2019 Highlander, or a low-mileage lease for $269 a month.
You never know what you'll find at Toyotathon. Come in today.
Toyota, let's go places.
UK Sports and Campus Marketing would like to thank our official Cornerstone partners, Central Bank, the official bank of UK Athletics, and Kentucky Farm Bureau, big on commitment. Under the Hood is sponsored by Paul Miller Ford.
First, we have to wrap up the game that we just played. A lot of that work is done immediately after the game, on the airplane, on the bus. You know, my job during the game is to put together the entire game for the coaching staff. We will shoot 3 angles. My goal is to have that game intercut and put onto a SD card for the coaches within 20 minutes after the game. That is incredibly important to get it to those guys in a timely manner so that they can grade it on the way home. And that's what they'll do. Everybody will grade it on the bus, on the airplane, and have that done by the time we land.
Thursday night was big for UK football. 2 Kentucky Wildcats racking up some national recognition.
Indeed, Max Duffy won the Ray Guy Award and becomes the first Kentucky player ever to win that honor as the best punter in college football. And he was named first-team All-American by the Walter Camp Foundation.
Yeah, it's awesome. Just to get a second, I guess, shot at sport after the disappointment of getting delisted back home is awesome. And to the coaching staff that took me on, Coach Hood, Coach Matsakis, and obviously Coach Stoops, and then to my family and friends that supported me, it means a lot. So it's good to get that second opportunity and keep playing.
And at that same awards presentation in Atlanta, Landon Young was recognized as the captain of the 2019 All-State Good Works team as voted by the fans. Young was named a member of the team back in September for his volunteer work in the community and abroad. Landon is UK's 15th player to be named to the All-State Coaches Association Good Works team and the school's first ever to be named Good Works team captain.
Earlier in the week, more national props. One of the major awards is named for Hall of Famer Paul Hornig, a Louisville native. It's presented to the most versatile player in America. And this year, no surprise, it's Lynn Bowden who racked up big numbers in receiving, returning, and then rushing as Kentucky's emergency quarterback.
I think I was kind of the kind of athlete that did a lot of things while I was in school. And the reason I won the Heisman Trophy is I could do so many things. So everything went along that line, and here comes this kid, and he's another Horning, as they say. You know, he's had a lot of talent. He did a lot of things, and so he deserves, you know, what he's put forth.
Lynn Bowden's reaction to winning that award was really cool, too.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, he was thrilled. All-star accolades have been pouring in for the Wildcats, of course, as you might expect.
4 Kentucky players named first-team All-SEC by the media, including fellow offensive lineman Logan Stenberg and Drake Jackson, Max Duffy, and all-purpose player recognition for Lynn Bowden, as you might expect. And UK long snapper Blake Best is a first-team All-Academic All-America for the second time. Last season, he was named a second-team Academic All-America. Best is a senior from Duluth, Georgia. He's the long snapper for the field goals and extra points for the 4th straight season and added punt snap duties this season. Best has been perfect on every snap through his UK career and has a perfect 4.0 grade point average in a double major of economics and finance.
How's that for a stat? Perfect on every snap?
Perfect. And you know what? Here's the thing, Christy. Most Kentucky fans don't even know Blake Best's name.
Yeah,
and there's a reason
right.
for that. He just doesn't mess up.
Yeah,
He's just the best at what he does.
Yeah, that's incredible. But what a great season for all of these UK guys to wrap up with a tough season, a challenging season, and then to see them be rewarded exactly the way they should be. Although there is one mistake. The coaches got it wrong in the SEC with Max Duffy.
That's right.
They got it wrong. Second team.
They did. And here's the thing. Last year we saw Benny Snell and Josh Allen, and we knew those guys were going to be honored, especially nationally and in the SEC. This year, some of these guys were unexpected, but they certainly deserved what they got.
It was awesome. All of those awards very well deserved, no question.
All right, when you build a good staff, other teams want your assistance, and Mark Stoops has done just that. EKU naming Kentucky assistant Walt Wells as the new head coach of the Colonels. Wells was an EKU assistant for 7 seasons under Roy Kidd.
And Dean Hood, former head coach at EKU and most recently Kentucky's special teams coordinator, will take over as head coach at Murray State. So he and Wells will knock heads in the Ohio Valley Conference. Hood won a couple of OVC championships while he was at Eastern.
All right, keep it here, right here on BBNTV. We'll listen to some podcast chatter. That's coming up next.
For complete coverage of the Cats, like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and on Twitter.
When you're out recruiting, a phone call doesn't always cut it. You have to be there face to face.
It's the same with banking. That's why I chose Central Bank.
At Central Bank, it's easy to stay connected with online and mobile banking. But when you need someone to talk to or a quick decision made, we're right here with the products and personal service to help guide you toward your financial goals.
Think local.
Grow local.
Bank local and put Central Bank's local advantage to work for you.
The way Bill sees it, a car is not just for getting from point A to point B. For Bill, his car is a reflection of his personality, his style, his values. That's why he has Kentucky Farm Bureau take care of his insurance. Because we're not just Kentucky's Farm Bureau, we're Bill's pride and joy Farm Bureau.
My Farm Bureau.
Kentucky Farm Bureau, big on commitment.
Join Dave Baker and Rex Chapman for Don Franklin Auto Countdown to Tip-Off coverage of Kentucky basketball. 90 minutes before every game on the UK Sports Network.
UK walk-on Riley Welsh, like millions of Americans, now have their own podcast, and the focus, of course, is Kentucky basketball.
This week, he sat down with his close friend, Emmanuel Quickly, and they talked about how extra hard work has paid off for Quickly so far this season.
Guys last year like PJ, Reed, they were, quote-unquote veterans leading us, and they're gone. So for me coming in on year 2, it was just important for me to, take a step up and just try to help this team any way I can just to help us get wins.
We've had a very tough past 2 weeks of practices.
Yeah.
How would you and then we played much better against Fairleigh Dickinson than we had previously. Right. How would you say those practices, and it's been very competitive, a lot of 5-on-5, how would you say that's impacted our team?
I think it's been good. I don't think a lot of us know that we didn't practice like this last year a lot, and I think people that have came back could say the same thing. Last year was a lot more, we'll play 5-on-5 than a drill, play 5-on-5 than a drill, but these past couple of weeks we've been getting after it for like 30, 45 minutes, just going up and down, up and
continuously,
down.
Continuously the whole time.
And I think that's helping us a lot in the game, conditioning and things like that. So it's been good.
All right, you can find Riley's podcast on Spotify, iTunes, wherever you get your quality podcast. But that's pretty cool. I honestly don't know Riley too well, but he seems like a great personality. And the thing that I like about him the most, Christy, the 2 or 3 times that he's checked into a ball game at the end of the game, he's got the biggest smile on his face. He's like smiling from ear to ear, like he's just enjoying life.
Living the life. Yeah, that's awesome. So we want to tell you about something that's coming up next week that Lee Kay and I will be involved in, and that is signing day. So it's not enough that the UK football team is getting ready for a bowl game and a big matchup against Virginia Tech, but they also have signing day. So there's a ton of jockeying going on when it comes to recruiting, and we're going to tell you about who Kentucky has signed. That's going to be next week on the internet.
That's right, and we will also have a special on the UK network that night, later that evening on Wednesday night. And Christy, used to that first Wednesday in February was the big signing day. Right. And over the past couple of years, it's this early signing day that has really become the big one. So Mark Stoops and his staff will hope to have the majority, if not all, of their recruits signed by next Wednesday. And the consensus seems to be that coaches really like this. They like having it done. They like being able to move on. Now, it is a rough time as you're trying to get ready for a bowl. Yeah, no doubt about that. But it's a little bit like Christmas morning, so come early. So on December 18th, get up early with us on ukathletics.com and tune in. So it'll be great. All right. Well, that's it for now. Another big week coming up, and we'll be here to talk about it same time, same place on BBNTV.
Big Blue Nation TV was presented by UK Federal Credit Union and sponsored by Central Bank, Coca-Cola, Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, Kroger, Papa John's, Toyota, and by UK Federal Credit Union. Tune in to the UK Healthcare John Calipari radio show every Monday from 6 to 7 p.m. on the UK Sports Network.